let's make sure we aren't in a toxic relationship with sugar. Like, let's be free from manipulation, from the backhanded jabs, the lies, the abuse, all of those things that are so prevalent when it comes to this particular form of carbohydrates. Like, we want healthy relationships, right? With all the people and with all the things that we are engaged with. Am I right? All right, welcome to Coffee and Conversation with Christine. You guys, say hello when you pop on. Let me know you're here. I just went live in the wrong group. So hopefully we are good to go in the Train in Truth group. I am not seeing it. If you see me, oh, somebody is here. Will you tell me hi? Let me know that I'm in the right group. It's Terry. Okay, or Terry's here too. Okay, I see you, Terry. I don't know who else is here. But say hi when you pop on. There I am. Okay, good. I am in the right group this time. Whoops. So we are going to talk about our relationship with sugar today. I know, not the funnest topic, but this is going to be so beneficial. I really think we're all going to get a lot out of this. Okay, I see Jessica, you're here. Hello, I'm so glad you're here. I'm not seeing any comments, so, oh, here we go. Now I have to look on my computer. It's not popping up here. So I'm glad you guys are here this morning. Let me know what you're drinking. If you've got coffee, I won't judge you if you're not a coffee drinker. Terry, I know you're probably drinking tea. Good for you. I am just not that woman. Okay, sugar. Let's talk about this. Now, when it comes to sugar, we want to make sure that our relationship is healthy here. When I say, okay, so the sugar addiction is not nearly as noticeable as other kind of addictions, right? And the consequences just don't show up right away like they do with other substances. But they're there, and we need to learn to recognize them, be aware of them, and know what exactly we're engaging with when we engage with sugar. And that's why I've put together the Break-Up with Sugar Bootcamp. Because there are consequences with engaging in sugar. It's just underlying. It's not so obvious. So when I say break up with sugar, I do not mean that we should never consume another grain of sugar again. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. My heart is that we can be free to choose when we engage with it and have healthy boundaries surrounding it. Because it tends to kind of lie to us and sneak up on us. And it's important to be aware and to have those boundaries. So here's the thing I want us to be aware of, though. Our bodies, they're fading. They're not eternal. So while we are absolutely called to care for it, in order to function at full capacity, we have to steward our bodies well. And we want it to function well because as believers, as Christ followers, we want to be at a capacity that we can glorify God's kingdom well, right? And add to it and grow it and step into our calling and our purpose, our God-given purpose. And caring for the body is kind of critical when it comes to that. It's just hard to choose joy or to choose patience or respond quickly to a need if we're suffering from, brain fog, renewing our mind can be really hard if we've got a lot of brain fog going on. It's hard to serve in certain areas or respond quickly to a need if our body is suffering, if it's inflamed and it's hard to move, or there's pain. We can't respond to certain needs when we're hindered this way. And it's just difficult to communicate the gospel when we're just so tired. So, our body is important, but it's not the most important thing. It is fading. And we should not glorify our body or put it in a place where we're solely focused on every ingredient or thing we eat, right? Or everything that we do, because really it's our heart that matters. It's the soul that is eternal. So that is important. That's more important than our bodies, because our soul is eternal. So I just want to make that very clear as we dig into this topic of caring for our bodies, that it's our soul that is eternal. We know that our body is going to fade and that it's temporary. Okay, let me see if you guys have, do you guys have any thoughts on that? Oh good, Terry, you're a coffee drinker too, I didn't know. Yeah, I'm on my third cup of coffee, I think. All right, so let me dig in now to what we should be aware of. So when it comes to this relationship with sugar, we want to be free from this biological need for it. It has a way of manipulating our chemistry and the way our body functions so that we do become dependent on it. So I was talking to a girlfriend this week, and she was telling me how she loved her coffee daily. Like, she was going almost daily to get her white mocha, and she was explaining the feeling that she got when she sucked it through the straw, and she tasted the sugar and the coffee goodness, and it became something that she wanted on a regular basis and needed, and it made her feel so happy, and she got to be able to kind of function a little better. And at one point, her daughter said to her, "Mom, you should go get some coffee. It would be great if you felt better, or if you were happier." Something like that. Her daughter said that to her, and it was like this huge red flag went up for her. She's like, okay, this is a problem. I don't want to need to have my white mocha in order to be happy and to, respond well to my kids. The thing is, there's this chemical reaction and almost a high that happens when we consume sugar. Here's a cool thing. This same kind of, what happens is it's this dopamine, natural chemical that gets released within us and in our brain called dopamine. And we're going to go further into this when we do the Break-Up With Sugar Bootcamp. We're going to dig into all of the nitty-gritty of this, but it happens. We get this kind of natural high when we consume it. And the food industry really wants us to be dependent on it. It loves that it can do that for us. But the same chemical is released 30 seconds into a hug. So you can hug somebody for 30 seconds and get this huge download of serotonin and dopamine. And you will feel the satisfaction and this kind of delight, you can get it from a hug. I mean, I just love that. And, disorder and dysfunction, when that starts coming into play, when we start feeling these needs and we don't have that kind of serotonin and feel those happy feelings, we tend to isolate, which is, a big problem. And the food industry loves it because it can then be that source. But isolating, it feeds the issue. So when we can come in contact with people and just even touch them, it can really help. So I just thought that was really cool. I wanted to share that with you. And being aware of what sugar, how sugar can kind of sneak in and what it can do for you, that's really what the boot camp is all about, is just to help you become aware and create those boundaries. So we don't want it sneaking up on you or stealing from you. We want, like, if you choose to eat a piece of cake, I want you to do so with full confidence that it's not this manipulation that's happening within your body and within your mind from this substance. And then, lots of times, like, we could eat, there are times where you might eat a protein bar thinking that it's good for you and that it's going to nourish your body, when actually it's doing you harm. And it causes cellular dysfunction. This happens all the time. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating that there's this idea that and we get deceived by certain labels and the food industry. So we're going to be aware of those. I want you to be able to spot it and know what to look out for and how to guard yourself against that. Yes. So the point behind Break-Up with Sugar is not to have this kind of adulterous love affair, where it's like you're secretly hiding in the pantry, eating it because you know that you shouldn't be, but it's so darn good and it makes you feel better. We don't want to depend on it or have this uncontrollable urge to engage in something that we know is bad for us. So it's really, that's why this breakup is kind of, it's critical. We want to break up with the abuse and the toxic infiltration into our bodies and to our emotions and our thoughts. It's not just our bodies. It does infiltrate into our emotions and thoughts. Like, they are intimately connected. Our soul and our body, so intimately connected. And our choices get compromised when our body isn't functioning well. Right? Right? You know what I mean? I'm trying to see if you guys are commenting. We absolutely compromise our choices when we're not feeling well. And sugar, we can end up with a headache or a migraine, or really be fatigued the next day, or even in that, later that day if we choose to engage in eating it. And we just need to be aware. And I just want you to choose to engage with sugar on your terms. When you decide that you want to eat that cake, it's because you want to really enjoy and celebrate with girlfriends while you're out, or you want to celebrate the 10 years since the birth of your child. Just that in a place where you are aware and ready to accept all that comes with that choice, and that it's not this deceitful thing that's happening. So we create boundaries around it, and you choose to engage with it at the right times and not all the time, because it's very easy to create a situation where, we should celebrate right now. We should have an exception right now because, it's Friday or Monday, or, it's very easy. And honestly, this concept goes with your relationship with all things. our relationship with all things. Like, we have to put these boundaries in place. I mean, it can be with TV, with screen time, with beverages, like coffee, alcohol, all of these things, social media, money. Just having these kind of boundaries in place is critical. And we're going to really just examine the whole topic of sugars. So I'm really excited for this boot camp. It's going to be very in-depth. We're going to really dig into this concept of living out our purpose at full capacity in our body, living like the conqueror we know we are. I mean, sugar, obviously, I suffer from thyroid disease, an autoimmune disease. And so sugar affects me in a big way. I know that it doesn't affect everybody, but it has the capacity and the ability to take you to this same place. And if you are suffering from any kind of disease, sugar is something you need to be very aware of. And we want to, God says that He has come to give us abundant life. And I know that there have been times where I have looked at that scripture and thought, man, I do not feel like my life is living, like I'm not living in abundance. I'm not working at full capacity, and being more than a conqueror is not happening in my body right now. And so discovering some of these key things is just mind-blowing and so exciting to step into that energy and having our body actually work the way it was designed to work. It feels so great, and I'm really just excited to talk to you about all the things. Okay. Yay. I'm so glad you're registered, Jessica. I saw that. And Terry, I saw you in there. Lainey, Lainey, am I pronouncing your name right? Let me know. I hope so. I saw you guys registered. I'm so excited to go through it with you. All right. Love you guys. Have a fantastic Friday. If you are a wellness warrior, or in the membership, we're going to have our call at 10 o'clock. Make sure you're hopping on there for the coaching call, and I will see you later, everybody. Okay, Lynn E. I hope so. All right. Love you guys.